Previously on Survivor. 16 Ohio State students were pitted against each other in the greatest social experiment ever created. Split into two tribes, Kauai and Itoito, they battled physically and socially to outwit, outplay, and outlast their way to the merge. Ultimately, 7 of them would fall short of this goal. Kim, Morgan, Max, Megan, Tyler, Jordan, and Zandy would see their games end pre-merge. At the merge, Sam flipped the game on its head, playing his steal a vote advantage and eliminating Richard, who found a spot on the jury with an idol in his pocket. In the wake of Richard's demise, Hailey, Cam, Erin, and Emily formed a new alliance, Girl Gang. Girl Gang took control of the game and began to eliminate the remaining male players, starting with Tanner and Sam. With Girl Gang's sights set on the boys, Zane saved himself with a hidden immunity idol, and Noah was eliminated in his place. At Final 5, Emily overplayed her hand, attempting to oust Cam from the tribe by playing her own immunity idol for Zane. Zane and Emily's fellow Girl Gang members refused to vote Cam out and sent Emily to the jury. Of the 16 that began this season, only Hailey, Erin, Zane, and Cam remain. Which of these 4 will outwit, outplay, and outlast the others to be Ohio State's next sole survivor? Find out now on the thrilling conclusion of Survivor Time and Change, Ohio's Praise.
Final 4. Welcome everybody. It's been a long time since we've seen you. About, 25 minutes or so? You guys happy to beat your next challenge? Yeah? Alright, well before we get to it, Erin, you know the deal. First things first, I need it back.
What if I don't want to?
Well then, win it again. Thank you. With that, individual immunity is back up for grabs. Are you ready to learn what today's challenge is?
Yep.
So, behind me, you see that we have 4 stations set up, one for each of you. Today, we will put a base on the end of each 2x4, and you will just do foot on the pedal. You sit like this, and you balance it. If your base falls off, you are out of the challenge. Whoever lasts the longest, person with their base still on, wins immunity, and guarantees themselves a spot in the final 3. Easy enough? Any questions? No? All right, let's get started. Survivors ready? Go. This challenge is on. All you have to do is balance your vase on the end of the plank. If your vase falls off, you are out. For reference, we ran this challenge in season 3, and the winner went over 55 minutes.
What the
What?
No,
Oh,
thank you.
God
Wow.
damn it, I should not done like today.
So high expectations for all of you. Haley's starting to get wobbly already. It'll take a minute to find your happy place. I competed in this challenge.
How'd you do?
I came in second.
Ooh, proud of you, Greg. Did you get voted out that week?
No, not that.
Not that.
Everybody looking pretty good so far. A little bit of wobbles, but not too bad.
We
Winning this
just do a
challenge.
Hunger Games and all drop at the same time. Yeah, probably don't know. Very. It'd still be last base at 3.
Hailey getting wobbly. Like way up in the air. Winning this challenge guarantees you that you get to the last day of this game.
enjoy watching him unbalance him, and then I get unbalanced.
Gust of wind starting to come in now, making it even harder.
Ah, the wind. Probably should start working out. Yeah, this is what.
Walk.
And with a statue in the end. That's a move to all this challenge.
No.
Erin, Zane, and Hailey all starting to get a little wobbly right at the same time. Hailey's face way up and she is out. Her brace doesn't break, but it falls.
That's so.
Hailey with a graceful outing of this challenge.
I know, my pole also got out of this thing.
We are now down to 3 original Itoidos. Come hang out.
Oh.
Zane falls out just like that. We are now down to 2.
Itoido strong.
Itoido strong.
Oh, and I'll throw you.
Cam. Come over here, buddy.
Go around.
Out of place.
Okay, calm down.
That's not true.
I'm just being dramatic. I'm really.
So final act of Emily Purple. They have been petties. Very interesting.
Huh? Yeah, and then just. Okay.
Do you want
Let's
to?
do it.
Oh my God,
Ready?
they're not doing this. Y'all focus.
3, 2, 1.
Is that? Did Cam win? So with that, Cam wins immunity.
What the hell?
Wow. All right. All right, Cam, congratulations on winning your 3rd individual immunity.
Thank you.
Well, you two lasted for 32 minutes and 38 seconds. Certainly one of the weirdest endings to a challenge I've seen. But with that, ice your legs, take a minute, kind of decompress from a double tribal and challenge. And again, congratulations on Final 4. Cam, congratulations on Final 3. Go ahead and head on out of here.
So as soon as Greg explained the challenge, I knew I wasn't gonna do well, but that's fine. That's life. I mean, I tried my hardest, and that's all you can do. So yeah, that's okay.
To be honest, I didn't know Erin would put up that much of a fight. I'm glad that Hailey didn't win it because Hailey has voted. She voted for me today at Tribal, which made no sense. She said I was doing this to protect Cam, which right there just exposes to me that her and Cam are extremely close. I've said that numerous times, that Hailey and her are very close. Now she has 1 immunity, and there's no more idols to be played, so I can't be, automatically safe. So I had to do my best this weekend to convince Cam that Hailey should go.
We kind of know what we're gonna do moving forward. Like, I think maybe Zain will be the next to go this week. I mean, I guess I'll have to talk to Cam what she thinks.
I hurt. I mean, I'm happy, but I don't know, the challenge was just kind of I feel like either way, if one of us had it, it would have been fine. I think we were most worried about Zane winning it, and he was the second one out. So at that point, I don't know, I feel like I was just too competitive, and it did really hurt. But I also think that between me and Erin, I trust Hailey and Erin, but I also think that I would be more likely to go home than Erin would, so that's kind of what it came down to. I know I said it wasn't that important, but I guess it always is,
You have your meetings, but as of right now, I'm gonna go on the pretense that Hailey, you're gonna vote for me, and then I'm just gonna vote Hailey. And I'm gonna do my best to convince Erin to vote Hailey, just to force it to go to a tie.
Yeah, definitely.
And then do a revote, a tie, and then Wait, what would happen if it's a tie?
If it's a tie,
It has
I
to
never
go.
go to the
Yeah,
challenge.
yeah, because we can't even go to rocks. We
Yeah.
can't even have anybody play.
It's gonna be a pretty easy week. Zane already knows that he's going. We were all honest with him. There's really no reason not to be right now. He can't really do anything about it. So it kind of sucks because he's bummed. And, like, I get that. And he was kind of going through everything, like, that he could have done and that, like, he still thinks he could beat all of us. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Because me and Hailey have, we just started, like, interacting a lot with each other the past 3 weeks. You guys were in a tribe together longer, I guess. We were only a tribe. Me and Hailey for like a week.
Yeah.
So, you know, I did trust her with my note. Showed her my note for the idol, and I trust her and told her about the idol. So, but she probably thinks she's a target from me because
Definitely.
I'm still pissed about the flushing my idol out.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily pissed about that. I'm pissed about the blunder part.
Yeah.
More so, like, if you're gonna hit flushing mine out.
Flushers too, yeah. Yeah, that was a dumb
So.
So here's my thing. Like, there's no reason to lie at this point in the game.
Yeah, you're voting me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't want you to think that I'm going to, like, have fun voting for you or anything, because, like, it's actually really sad to me, and, like, I wish I just didn't have to, and that it could be Final Four or something, but, like, unfortunately, it's either, my only other option is Erin. I'm voting for Zane, and I am voting for Zane because Cam won, and so I can't vote her out. And I'm voting for Zane because I told everybody in the jury that if they ever let Zane get to the end, I would vote for him to win. So there you have it. That is my reasoning behind voting Zane. But he supposedly is gonna fuck shit up at Tribal and just roast all of us and make fun of us and give a big speech, and I'm excited. We'll see. I don't know. Is he gonna vote me? Maybe. Maybe I'll finally get a vote. Is he gonna vote Erin? Maybe. Maybe I will still never get a vote.
I am telling you right now, I will probably vote for you.
Well, thank you. Like, I feel like I've been underestimated
Because
the whole game.
you have matched me. You've been better in Emily. I can stand this trash talking. You know what? I'm going back to week 1 when you were like, y'all expecting me to go home. I'm still here. I respect that. Emily's trash talk was like.
Do you want me to
fake.
tell you something that I don't know if you realize?
What?
I'm the only person in this game that's never been voted for.
Are you straight up fucking with me?
No. I've never received a single vote at Tribal.
Alright, I might change that.
Basically, where I'm at is I think that Cam and Hailey have kind of made up their minds.
Yeah.
And I've talked to them, and this is, like, really hard for me because
When did you talk to them yesterday? Or?
more this morning.
Yeah.
I was talking to both of them, but
Y'all got a group chat?
huh?
Y'all got a group chat?
Now we do.
And how y'all doing?
But I was basically Hailey, like, has kind of, like, told me she's gonna be, like, pissed if I don't vote with them, and basically, like, if I don't win immunity at Final 3, there's no chance that they're gonna that either of them are gonna take me.
Yeah.
And so I'm, like, in a really hard place right now, because, like, if I vote with you and vote Hailey, I would be potentially, like, hurting my own game, because like, I mean, I would literally have to win immunity at Final 3. And, like, I mean, given that you don't win the challenge, like, if you didn't win the challenge, like, and I was in the Final 3 with them, like, if I didn't win immunity, I would be going home. And if I did vote with them this week, I think I can convince either of them to take me. So that's, like, kind of where I'm at right now. It's, like, obviously really hard, and you're like one of my favorite people.
Wait, think about this for a second though. Let's say Cam wins immunity next week.
Yeah.
Does Cam want to take you, or does she want to take Hailey?
I honestly think I could convince her to take me.
This is such a sad day. I might start crying during this confessional. I shouldn't, but I'm an emotional person. Okay. This is finally the day that I have to vote out Zane. I'm so sad. Like, I know like his name's been brought up before, and like even with the Tanner vote or the Richard vote, like when I actually put his name down, I always just had like a glimmer of hope every time that it would work out, and it always has. And now, like, it's different with the Richard vote because like I felt like I literally had to, like I didn't have any other choice. But with this vote, like it's me, and it literally kills me on the inside because like Zane is like one of my favorite people that I played with, and it's weird because way back when he and I were not fast friends, and I put his name down, and I mean I put his name down, I didn't even know him yet, but then I started getting to know him, and I realized he's literally the coolest person. I think this is actually like literally breaking my heart.
And honestly, if you want to vote me, I would understand.
Yeah, but Hailey's not gonna vote you. I mean, vote for you.
Well, yeah, I know. But like, if you're mad at me and want to vote me,
like, I had to convince Hailey somehow that I would take her to Final 3 if it was me, her, and Cam.
yeah. I mean, if you want to try to do that, like, honestly, it's up to you.
It's a loss cause.
I genuinely wouldn't be like mad at you if you met with Hailey and were like, what if I would get Erin? Like, I like literally wouldn't be mad at you, because I think at this point in the game we all need to just like do whatever is going to save ourselves, you know? And if you want to try to do that, that's like honestly fine. I'm not going to be offended.
Alright. So, it's presumed that I'm going to be voted out tonight. I'm not going to include this in my pre-travel confessional because I got a lot of stuff on my mind. I'm just trying to get it out. What I'm going to start off with is that they made up their mind very, very quickly that they were voting me. They may argue that they made it up Monday morning. I honestly believe that they made it up before even the challenge was finished. Hailey and Cam did it certainly. I'm very curious tonight as to when that tribal happens. I've talked to. I understand what the format of the tribal is going to be, and at the very end is where I'm going to present my case. Essentially, I'm going to present my case to the jury and the people, in the game. Still, I'm going to stir it up as much as I can, because if I'm going out, first off, let me go out swinging. Second off, let me stir up crap if I'm going to go out swinging. Let me stir it up. Let's see who wins this game. I don't want it to be certain that's going to be Cam. I don't want it to be certain that's going to be Erin. I don't want it to be certain that's going to be Hailey. I want to throw them all and have them. My ideal, my desired goal would be that if I'm going home, if I'm going home, is that I stir it up enough that next week's tribal, chaos ensues. They're like, Zane said this about you, or is this true? This is like, I just want them to fight. I don't want them to be like, the one person going like, this is who I'm gonna choose. I want the two people who are, fighting, like, yo, blah blah blah. Like, I want as much infighting as possible, because these girls, I'm referring to these girls because Noah was voted out like what it feels like forever ago, feels like 3 weeks ago, and I'm the last guy left. I guess the only accomplishment I feel like I got was that, like, I wasn't I at least got a girl out before I went out. And I should have gotten out Cam, because if I got out Cam, I'm not in this position today. And that's really disappointing to me.
Tell me about the tribal. Oh, sorry. We'll now bring in the members of your jury. Emily, and Petty Perko go down at the last tribal council. So, Petty Perko, how's life been?
Pretty full.
Yeah?
I decided to relive my tribal council by wearing the same
Lisa.
outfit that I got voted out in. Inspire Petty Perko.
Final four, how are you guys?
Good.
Staying warm, I hope?
No.
No? Me neither. Alright, well, are you guys ready to kind of jump right into it?
Yes.
So, last tribal was a very eventful one. We see Petty Perko go home in front of the four Emilys watching. And it was the last chance to play idols, and that seemed like it was a big theme or a big talking point that I brought up with my questions and stuff like that. And it was certainly warranted because we see Emily pull out an idol, but then play it for Zane instead of on herself. So Zane, just to get us started, talk to me about how it felt to have somebody play an idol for you, especially since you had just played one for yourself a tribal prior.
It was some messed up shit. I didn't expect it, to be honest, that she would actually follow through with it. I thought, you know, no way in hell is she buying some of the stuff I've been saying and telling her that previous week. We had met. I apologize. I sincerely apologize because it came to bite me in the butt this week by letting her play it on me. But like going through the week, I was like, there's no way, you know, with our history, with the bad blood it seems between us, that she would actually, you know, play it for me, because I thought, you know, like in this game, it's every person for themselves. So I was really caught off guard by it.
You say it bit you in the butt this week, how so?
So as soon as that vote happened, I knew it bit me in the ass because I had thought a couple weeks ago when I initially found my idol that the best player remaining in the game was Cam. And I thought to myself, you know, like, I have a shot at this point in the game of removing the best player in the game, someone who had at that point won multiple challenges, was beloved by everybody. And I said, hey, you know, like, should I do it or not? I struggled with that decision. Really, the reason why I struggled with it is because I felt like my hands were tied. I didn't feel like I had enough support to execute a move that big. And had she Emily played the idol for herself, you know, it came to my attention this week, like yesterday, that, you know, if she had played it for herself, I had flipped my vote and voted Cam along with her. Maybe right now I'm in a different position.
So then now let's move into the vote just, 2 days after that challenge and tribal council back to back. And Cam, let's start with you, since you are me and you did win that challenge. Since you won, are you seeing yourself as kind of a hot commodity in a swing vote for this vote, knowing that you have that security of going into final three?
A little bit. I actually think. Yeah, thank you. Zane actually did refer to me as God in this vote.
Whoa.
You did. You said it.
Whoa.
He's gonna deny it. He said it.
No, I said Kingsmaker or something
Okay,
like that.
that makes more sense.
Hey,
Sure,
chill.
you said
Mom,
Kingsmaker.
I didn't say that, alright? Like, Mom, I did not say that.
That's
Like, I
literally
did
the
not
only
say that,
reason why.
Mom, okay? Like, I never said words like that, alright?
Alright, well, I stand corrected. He said Kingsmaker. I don't really see it that way because I think, like, I mean, even with my vote, it's going to take more than just me to make a move here, you know? I get seeing that way, but I think I've been honest with everyone about where I'm at, and I wouldn't consider myself to have, like, a big part in how this vote's going to play out.
Okay, so the way I see this Final Four, it's kind of unique because there's a few different dynamics that are in play, and a couple obvious ones are gender as a 3-to-1 girl-to-guy ratio, or original tribe 3-to-1 Itoido versus Puai ratio. But another one that I kind of realized is the fact that all four of you know what it feels like to be immune to tribal council. Now, granted, Erin, Cam, and Hailey, you guys have all worn the necklace at some point this season, and Zane Zane, your immunities came by way of idols, either being played by you or either being played by you or for you.
Yeah.
So, did you approach this vote any differently, knowing that we're past the point where idols can be played? You don't really have that safety net to fall back on that you've had the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was fucked the moment like I did not have an idol. Well, at this point, you know, I'm falling out, so like I might as well swear. Sorry, mom.
Sorry.
So like, you know, like as soon as I didn't win like immunity in that challenge, I was like, there's no way, you know, I'm safe this week. During my meetings with all of them, I knew before the meetings happened, like, yo, they're gonna be. Hopefully, like, I'm glad that they were honest, but like each meeting was like 20 minutes or like 2 hours after the other. So like it was like, Zane, you're going home. Zane, sorry, you're going home. Zane, sorry, you're going home. So like it was nice, like knowing like it's already been set, but it was just depressing, like knowing like there ain't no shot. Cause I've had my back up against the wall like multiple times where like I know there's a chance I go home. Like the Richard vote example, like I thought I was going home. Like when I saw my name like the first 2 times, I was like, yo, it's sealed. Like I even asked like somebody like, hey, where does the final person go when they get voted off? Cause like I thought it was over. So like to have made it this far in the game after thinking like I would have been voted out the first week after merge, you know, I'm grateful.
So the 3 of them told you you're going home.
Yeah.
So then, instead of asking my next questions, I'll just open the floor to you. Do you want to plead your case at all in a more public setting? Because it seems like if they've all 3 made their decision, there's no reason for me to ask them questions. So I'll open it up to you and see if you want to say anything.
Am I allowed to ask? I'm allowed to ask them questions as well.
For sure, yeah.
So if y'all could just explain to me, in whatever terms y'all want, just be honest. Are all of y'all voting for me tonight because none of y'all want to take me to final 2? Or is it just the easiest thing to do?
For me, it's a mixture of both. I told literally every single person sitting over there that if they took you to final 2, I'd vote for you to win. So if I do that, then like that makes no sense. And not only that, but I've been closer to Erin and Cam this like the entire merge.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
So for me personally, it is a mixture of both. It's not one or the other really.
What were the 2 options?
The 2 options were like, do none of y'all want to take me to final 2? Is that the reason why? Or is it just the easiest thing to do? Or is it a mixture?
I genuinely, like at this point, don't even know who I would take to final 2, so I guess it's not that, but it's not like anything like I don't want you in the game either. It's more just like the way things like if you would have won immunity this week or even last week, I would have like cheered you on and been super happy for you, and like I feel like things would have been different, but it's just kind of how this week fell, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Erin said. It sucks, and I'm not like
I'm
it's
gonna
a
start
hard vote.
crying.
It's a hard vote. Like I'm not like that's why we wanted to be honest with you about it, is because like we owe that to you. It's just I agree with Erin, whereas I don't know who I would take to final 2. Like I don't, but I think just like looking at who's left here, there are very few choices, and it's more so I won't vote Hailey or Erin at this point.
Oh, let me just.
Oh my god.
He wrote notes.
All right.
Oh my god, I'm
So I'm gonna stand up. Now I'm gonna keep the coat on like the coat. Okay. All right.
I'm excited, you guys.
So I prepared this speech like just the past couple of days, just like just writing random thoughts down. So I say thank you, Greg, for allowing me to be a part of this show. It's been
crying.
Before I begin my speech, I want to start off thanking Survivor Time and Change here at Ohio State. I want to thank the cast, the crew, and everyone associated with this show to know what a truly remarkable and amazing job you guys have done. I truly feel honored, humbled, and thankful and blessed to be a part of an experience such as this. Every one of these players here, Hailey, Cam, and Erin, deserve to be here for one reason or another. They've played the game extremely well, and I'm glad to have played with all of them. Because they've all won immunity challenges, they all deserve to be here. Sadly, I have not won a single immunity challenge, haven't even gotten close. So I don't know why they're not taking me to Final 2. Like, for God's sake, I haven't won a Muni Challenge. I've never watched an episode of Survivor.
You did find an idol though.
I found an idol, but it took 3 clues. I missed an idol in the damn freaking urn. For God's sake. I thought it was a piece of paper. Like, I looked at it and I was like, that's a piece of paper. And like ran back, like, nah, that ain't shit. So I was fortunate to find the clue the next week. But I was also dead last in the challenge by a mile. That's the reason why I found it. All right. And then I got Dalai Lama quote. What's he say? I don't have it. All right, never mind. It's like something like a man just like always live or some shit. Right. I don't even know. It's good dude though. And another reason why I'm probably going home is because I've been going guns blazing the whole time. And sometimes when you do that, you miss the details. When you're someone such as me who's been voted for like 13 times, like, been voted by your own, tribe, own original tribe members, and had your own vote stolen. That shit racist as fuck. It bites you in the ass. So, I let my personal distrust of a person last week blindside me from who was a truly powerful player in this game. Emily, I apologize again for voting you. Didn't realize that it would just come back and haunt me this week that quickly. With that being said, another strategy I had in this game was the Marshawn Lynch quote, run through a motherfucker's face. Then you don't have to worry about him no more. So that was my strategy this whole game, just go guns blazing, because I didn't really care. I wasn't even supposed to be here because after the first week, I was in the hospital. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and I was like, don't worry about this game no more. Like, you're like fighting a disease, like who gives a shit? So what ended up happening was like I found a passion for this game, and I played it to the best of my abilities. And I'm just gonna end with a Rocky Balboa quote, because I just like that shit. Life will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. So with that being said, best of luck to all 3 of you. Get the job done.
I fucking love you, Zane. You're literally my favorite human ever.
Well, that was quite the way to end the tribal council. Unless either the 3 of you have anything to say, or Zane, you have anything to top it off. It sounds like it's time to vote.
I just want you to know that you're the best human ever.
Yeah, we love you.
And we love you.
And it's not personal.
It's not at all.
Appreciate it, love you guys.
Can we have a hug now? You
Yeah.
promised.
Well, that seems like a great place to stop. So with that, it is time to vote. You cannot vote Cam. She is immune. Everybody else is fair game. Zane, you're up.
So I am probably going to be voting out today. So what I am doing is I am just going to vote for Hailey because Hailey mentioned to me that she had never had a vote casted in her name. And I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees.
So sad. Zane, you're one of my favorite people ever, and I'm really sad, and I'm sorry, but you love me.
If you would have told me week 1 that I would be this sad to vote you out of week 4, I never would have believed you. I'm actually so happy that I got to play with you for so long, you crazy son of a bitch.
Well, I don't think I've ever cried so much at a tribal before, but I don't know. This makes the vote 10 times harder to vote Zane. I'm also really interested in whether he voted me or Erin, because if he voted me, then I'm officially not the only person that's been voted for, but it's fine, I'll understand.
I will go get the votes.
Where?
I will read the votes. First vote. Hailey. Zane. Tied. 1 vote Hailey, 1 vote Zane. Zane. It's 2 votes Zane, 1 vote Hailey, 1 vote left. And the 13th person voted out, and the 6th member of our jury, Zane. That's 3. That's enough. I need you to bring me your torch.
Love you, Jay. Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Zane? Yeah. Try this one. Well, we finally got it down to all 3 girls, so congratulations, give yourselves a pat on the back. The 3 of you have officially made it to the final day of this game where you'll compete for the title of Sole Survivor on Saturday. Rest up, get ready for it, it'll be a great day, a busy day. With that, go ahead and get on out of here. Good night.
What's up, fam? What's good? It's your boy, Zane. So this is my what you freaking call this damn thing? Voted out confessional or whatever shit. Shout out to my boy Jeff who hosts the actual Survivor, like just cuz. Shout out to Ramen Noodles. Shout out to Lemonade, and shout out to my boy Jacob Kenzie. Told me that I was gonna be the first person voted off the show. So did Angel Showman. Showman, you suck. And I'm still here. I was the 13th person voted out. I had hope to the very end. I was like, hey, maybe I could, pull out some challenge and say like, hey, I can use this challenge at Final Four. But I was like, the players in this game aren't gonna buy that. I've lied too many times. I've dodged too many bullets. A cat has 9 lives. 50 Cent, he got shot 9 times, and I got shot 10. And that 10th time I got shot was when I got voted out. I don't regret anything I did in this game. I played it to the fullest of my abilities. I was in the hospital for a week. I thought, hey, I'm going home after that. And to survive and have 10 more players go home or whatever, it's an accomplishment of its own. And I'm glad to play this game.
Come on in, guys. Hey guys, how's it going? Good. Welcome to the very last day of this game, day 84. Go ahead, give yourselves a round of applause. You've made it to the very last day of this season. It's been a long season for sure, a stressful one I'm sure at times. So before we get into the more stressful parts of this day, the challenge and the tribal council and the final tribal for you 3, we want to start off with something more reflective of the season. And behind us on the South Oval, we're going to have pictures of all of your fallen castmates up to this point, and you guys will go around and just say some words about each one in the order they were voted off to pay tribute to the people that fell in order for you guys to get here on this final day. So with that, I'm sure you guys have a lot to say about each person, so we'll let you get to it, and we'll see you soon for the challenge. All right, thanks.
I didn't know Kim either. But
I honestly really wish that I could have voted with Kim and voted out Jordan, but
she seems like a good one.
She is a good one.
Like a good one.
Look at her, she's so cute.
Like everything I've heard about her has been very nice.
Yeah, it really bums me out. I wish we could have played with her. But
yeah, good job.
She
Hailey.
actually would have fucked up the game because she was really smart.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, maybe that was a good one then.
Kim, love you.
Morgan.
Oh. I did not know her.
I feel bad about that one. She wanted to play this game probably more than anyone.
Really?
I think so.
She looks good in that pick.
Yeah, that's a nice pick of her.
She's cute.
I mean, Morgan, I was the only one that voted with you that day, so, and here I am now. Yeah. But, after that vote, I was like, I'm probably going to go home next, but here's...
Yeah, I was afraid of that. She would have been a huge player in this game.
Yeah, I've heard that about it. She was like really
she was probably
smart
probably one of the biggest players.
And she might have gone home with West Campus.
We don't know.
I'm still kind of convinced. He's so cute.
Literally the nicest human being in the entire world.
I know, I've seen him in passing a few times, and he's like been nothing but nice.
Actually, the nicest person in the entire world.
And honestly, the only reason he went home is because like he probably would have flipped on us.
He would have flipped. Honestly, like it made me so sad to send him home, but like I would have been next if like we wouldn't have kept Zane to go to rocks.
Yeah, because if he ended up on your tribe, he might have flipped on you. Oh my god, you wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be here.
It had to happen.
So I'm sorry it had to happen, but
we love you.
We love you.
And I hope your grandma's okay.
Oh my god.
Bye, Max.
Bye, Max. What a sweetie. Look at her.
I'm sorry that had to happen in the way that it did.
That was an honorable defeat, though. I mean, what a way to go.
It must have like made you feel better to like
only person this whole season that never got a vote.
Yeah, never got a vote and got
and got left fourth.
There's nothing.
She was so loyal to a fault though. Like she would have gone to rocks for literally any of us.
I know, which was sad.
I also think she didn't really understand it, but
Megan gives no shits.
I think Megan would have been like one of my favorite people in this game.
She would have been a really good ally for us because she would have been really loyal to us.
She for sure would have been part of Girl Gang.
Aw, Maggie.
Now I'm sad.
Honorary Girl Gang member. Love you, Meg.
Bye, Megan.
Oh, Jordan.
This is all you guys.
What a man. I'm sorry for making you cry. A lot.
I'm not as sorry because I think you wanted to make me cry, so...
I'm really sorry that I blindsided you, but I think you would have held back my game, and I don't think I would have ended up here, unfortunately, if he was still in.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I mean, I've never met Jordan, but...
I think it made me and Noah closer, too, and it made me closer to you and Tanner, so it worked out well.
It did work out.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, bud.
This was my favorite vote out.
Tyler.
The only person I did not feel bad sending home in this entire game.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but I disliked him. Like, I wanted to vote him out so bad, but it's okay. Well, you took my glory from me, but I'm happy you did it.
Honestly, nothing against him as a person. Like, great person. As a game player, probably one of the most strategic ones.
He would have screwed up the merge so hard.
He would have screwed up the merge so hard. I don't know. You did it to yourself, buddy, though, so.
Yeah, you kind of did devise a plan to vote yourself out.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Zanny!
I actually love, look at that picture. She's the cutest person ever.
She is glowing. What a
But
girl.
honestly, I don't know how she was the cutest person ever, but also one of the biggest strategic threats at the same time. Like, actually would have screwed up a lot of
She
shit.
didn't even try to be,
She was
though.
like an accidental strategic.
She like somehow like ended in that spot and then was like, well, gotta go hard from here on out.
Well, it was because of Tyler. You can blame Tyler for this.
Yeah, we'll
he
blame
ruined
Tyler
you.
for you.
He didn't ruin you.
But
And also the fact that you and Tanner were having a little powwow about wanting to get
I want to know who actually brought that up.
I think they both had to. There's no way that it was like a...
Well, Sandy, you kind of wanted to, well, you realized either me and Cam needed to go, and so he sent you home instead.
Alright.
Rich the bitch! Oh
Biggest
boy.
move in this game.
Oh, yeah, shout out Sam. This was like the turning point of the entire
This
season.
allowed
Richard
us
looks
to
really
flourish.
good in that.
Yeah, Richard is so handsome. I was like,
Why you ain't smiling, boy? What's going on here?
But no, that was definitely the turning point for us. I feel like.
I think it ended up making us stronger instead of like you two like not.
Had Sam gone home instead, say he didn't play the advantage and he got voted out, it would have been 5-3, and we probably would have had no choice but to stay with Old Itoido.
So honestly, good move.
It was
for
hell of a
Old
good
Puai.
Honestly, it's the
He
reason
would have
we're here
literally
right now.
ruined everything for us.
Yeah, he would have ruined everything. It is my fault.
Oh, Tanner.
Tanner.
What a human. Literally also probably one of the funniest people I've ever met. I love him with like everything, like as a friend, as a person. As a game player, would have literally screwed up everything.
Yeah. Honestly,
another player, I feel like literally most of the people would have screwed us up, screwed up our final three.
I feel like he had to go, but it was one of the more sad votes that I mean, I know I didn't vote for him, but like it was one of the most sad moments to be a part of when I was like, because I don't know, he just was a really strong player, and I know he was really into the game, and
So he was one of those. He was definitely using me as a shield. And
was.
with
Yeah,
our
100%.
relationship, it was one of those who's gonna get him first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
And
knew
we
that he
got
was just using me as a number. We
Yeah.
did.
Genuinely,
Hell of a player. Oh my god.
He would have done really well.
He would have ran away with so many of those challenges.
oh,
Sam.
I love him.
I love him
Also,
so much.
One of the greatest people.
Look at him and
Look
his
at
little
him,
bum.
He is so adorable.
The sweatiest man.
See, that's the one that I had, and it was stretched the fuck out. I was like, buddy.
Literally,
He
probably-
only got voted out because of Emily. That's all it comes. If he wouldn't have been as close to Emily, he probably would have ended up staying longer.
I would agree. I think like the reason it was so like dire for us to get him out is because him and Emily were like
Such a force.
and not willing to separate at all.
And even when we got him out, we were kind of hoping that maybe that would bring Emily closer to us.
Nope,
and that
it
was
didn't.
not the case.
I think it was more Emily pushing for that like I don't know.
I think she wanted to be Final Five with us and Sam. And like, I don't think she realized that we were literally not going to let that happen. Oh, my baby!
I love cry.
He's so cute.
He's literally the cutest little nug. I love him.
Look at that.
Look at that face. I literally have not a single bad thing to say about Noah.
The face of an angel. Really.
Literally, if he was a girl, he would probably be standing here
Yeah.
right now. It was literally just because of his gender, and he probably would have ended up doing well in like one of the challenges where we then wouldn't have been able to vote him out. Or
This
something.
is one of the weeks I was like, I felt the worst about because I felt like so much stuff happened at the tribal he was voted out for. It almost like I like didn't even realize that he was gone. Like it was like I was like not even talking about that.
That vote was when
after.
shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I don't
kind of
know.
got caught in the middle of it. You know?
He did. And then when he came back on the jury, he was like, I just feel like a part of my life is missing.
Ah, I love him so much. Oh, this one's gonna be sad.
Funny girls.
Princess!
The
Penny
first
Porco!
The first girl to fall.
You would have been with us.
We would have kept you. You voted yourself out.
Yeah.
Well, I helped, but
I understand it.
She was one of those players that wanted so desperately to make a big win and to win, but like
that's all she ever talked about was what can I do to make me look better.
That would have been a fucking huge move had she pulled it off.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely, like, I love Emily, but for
As
me
a
and
player.
Emily, our games never,
They weren't the same.
they never aligned because one week I was screwing her over, the next week she was screwing me over. Like, it literally was like, but, I mean, I wish it would have happened for us.
I think it definitely would have been different because at one point I thought she was my closest ally, and then I quickly realized she was Sam's closest ally.
Always.
But I think if me and her were closer than her and Sam was, I think she would have been.
Her relationship with Sam bit her in the ass, too.
100%.
Can we take it home with us?
Can I take him with me? My little nugget.
Let's just all hug him.
Can we all pose like him?
Zane, I love you so much.
The way that he went out is such a thing. Like that whole speech and everything. Like I
Oh.
wouldn't have expected anything less. from
That was
him.
so Zane. It was like the most Zane thing that he could have ever done.
I don't even know how to describe him or his gameplay.
I honestly, at the beginning of the season, I very much misjudged him, as I'm assuming a lot of us did.
I think I would bet every single one of us misjudged him.
And then I like realized he is one of the funniest and like kindest people I've ever met in my life.
He looks like a totally different person now. Like that doesn't even look like him. That looks like high school Zane.
High school
I'm
Zane.
so glad that like we got to play with him for so long because he
Yeah.
really was the best pick out of the guys to bring with us.
Oh,
100%.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
he was like the most loyal person ever.
Yeah, he was.
Ever in the whole world.
I mean, the fact that he didn't even vote for you, like he still voted for me when he knew we were all voting for him. Like
I
that
know.
just shows how he is as a person.
I just like, seeing him tonight is gonna like literally break me into 500 pieces because that was.
I hope he roasts the shit out of whoever.
Oh, he will.
I
He will.
hope he like is balled to the wall as a jury member because that's all I want from him.
He will be. I mean, you know, like he has nothing else. Like
What a character. Like,
Zane,
I'm proud of him.
the saddest vote we have ever had.
Yeah,
I think we were
You
all.
I
made
cried
Sarah
the most.
a little
I mean, I cried a little bit when Noah was a jury member just because of like what he said, but I cried.
also, how about the fact that he like had his idol and he was like, we should get out Cam, and you were like, no, and he was like, all right.
He was like, fair point, fair point.
Come on in, guys. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
How was Rites of Passage?
It was actually really fun.
Very reflective.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable.
It was very enjoyment. No, I got it. Well, are you ready to get to your next and last community challenge?
Yeah.
All right, first things first. Cam, you know the drill. I need it back.
She does know the drill.
She quite literally does.
Thank you.
Look, guys. Only 3 that have ever won immunity this season.
For the very last time in Season 4, individual immunity is back up for grabs. For today's challenge, you each have 6 clues that pertain to a location and an item that you will take to that location. It is up to you to decipher these clues, and when you do that, if you do it correctly, you will get a bag of puzzle pieces. Once you have all 6 bags of puzzle pieces, you will bring it back and solve a difficult word puzzle. First person to solve the puzzle wins immunity and guarantees a spot in final tribal council, where you will have the chance to plead your case to the jury. Any questions? All right, let's get started. All right, for the last time this season, survivors ready? Go!
Roundabout way to get here. Thank you.
You're not looking for me.
God.
You guys have been going at this challenge for about 40 minutes now. Another very long one that'll make you earn your victory. All right, everybody. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, turn around.
Everybody turn around, get away, turn around.
Say it, Erin.
Guaranteed spot in the final 2.
Erin wins immunity. Guarantees her spot in the final 2.
Oh my god. Damn, girl. I got guaranteed.
I was literally also there.
Yeah.
All All right, you guys went at that challenge for about 50 minutes. Erin, congratulations. Come get your necklace. Congratulations. You.
I am gonna cry. Mostly because I have to choose.
So with that, Erin, so appropriately, you have guaranteed a spot in the final 2 of this game where you will be able to plead your case to the jury and try to become the sole survivor. However, you still have one more decision you have to make. You get to pick who you bring with you to that challenge. So with that, we'll move into a tribal council here shortly and figure out who that's going to be. Thanks, guys. We will now bring in the members of your jury. Richard.
He does. Oh my gosh, he looks like
Tanner, Sam, Noah, Emily, and Zane voted out at the last tribal council.
You shaved.
How's life been, buddy?
I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing.
Gotcha. Erin, you won immunity today. Congratulations. You have guaranteed your spot in the final 2. So just to get us started, talk about the challenge a little bit, because I mean, obviously for the 3 of you, we did that for about 50 minutes. So it was very long. Puzzle was pretty difficult. So talking about just the whole thing in general.
That was a marathon. Also, I realized how out of shape I am. But I mean, yeah, it lasted like, I know I got like, I got back to the tables first and had probably like a 10-minute advantage on the puzzle, but I don't think it really helped me anything. I think we were all kind of struggling, but I mean, after that long of a challenge, obviously it was exciting to come out with a win. But honestly, it makes this so much harder because everyone knows how my heart literally breaks when I have to vote someone out, and now I hate this.
Well, this challenge was very close the entire time. I think the biggest lead might have been Erin. At one point, you had 2 more bags than the rest of the people, but then, you know, you catch right back up because that's just kind of how this challenge went. And then the puzzle was literally solved at the last minute. You guys were all starting to get it. So let's talk about the outcome now. Erin, you win. And like you were saying when we started this tribal, this is not an easy decision for you because your heart literally breaks every single time you make a vote. So talk to me about guaranteeing your spot in the final 2 and knowing that you're there no matter what happens. But then also how you're going to start to make this decision, knowing that so much emotion goes into it too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's really exciting. I mean, it's a spot that all of us were kind of like hoping to be in at the today, so it was exciting to, I mean, come out with a victory, and especially after that long challenge. I immediately, like, after my excitement, there was like immediate sense of like, oh God, now I have to make this decision. So everyone knows I'm probably the most emotional person when it comes to voting. Like, I think everyone has figured that out by now. So the fact that I'm in this position is just like, honestly, yeah, kind of sad. But yeah, these are 2 of my best friends, and I was like telling someone else, it's like picking between your sisters. Like, you can't like how do you make this decision? So obviously it's hard, but.
Well, let's go then to you 2 who don't have any say in this vote. It's completely up to Erin. So I want to give you the chance now to maybe plead your case, because we didn't give you a chance to talk before tribal council. This is a decision that was either made before or at tribal council. So Hailey, I'll just start with you since you're in the middle. If you want to plead your case to Erin, go for it.
Well, I mean, we talked a little bit yesterday, and I think almost everybody would agree I'm literally the most underestimated player in this game. Like, except I think maybe Zane realized what I had to give, but like, I don't think anybody really realizes the strategy behind it. Like, the fact that like the 3 of us are here because I created Girl Gang, and then like the 3 of us became another alliance, and so I'm like really proud of myself. I'm really proud of you that you did it. I just really.
You okay? Yeah. All right. Well, Cam, we'll go to you. Give you a chance to plead your case.
Yeah, I mean, for starters, I don't think I could, out of the 3 of us, not that you are deserving, but I couldn't think of a more deserving person to win that challenge. Just with everything this season, I mean, every challenge that I've won, you've been right on my tail. I think we've played very similar games. You've been one of my main alliances the entire time. I would be so proud to sit next to you. I know it's your decision. you know, I think we both played very good games. We all played very good games, and I know how much this decision is going to eat you alive. So, you know, obviously I'd love to sit there, but do what you got to do for the opening year of it. So.
All right, well, let's change course a little bit, and we'll come back to the vote at the end if we need to. But Erin, when you were talking, you mentioned how it's like choosing between your sisters and that they were your best friends. So now let's go to a more, you know, reflective part of this game. You guys had it with final rites, or with rites of passage. But Erin, we'll just start with you. Talk to me about what this game has kind of brought to your semester, given that it does last 84 days instead of the traditional 39 on the actual show.
I didn't realize like how close we would all become throughout this game. Like even the people on the jury, like literally some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. And like I didn't decide to play the game until like right before, and I just couldn't even imagine my semester not playing it because like all of these people have like completely like made my semester, and I don't know, I'm like very thankful that I got to meet all of you guys. So
yeah, I think that was a big thing during rites of passage, that like we were really repetitive, like we're so happy they played, we're so happy that like we got to meet them and like actually like get to know them.
Someone like at one point was like, "You're allowed to be mean," and I was, we would go to every single person and we were like, "I love them." Like
we were a little bit mean to Tyler.
Yeah, sorry Tyler. But, yeah, no, I mean there's just like not a bad thing to say about like any of them because they're all like remarkable people and they played like great games, and I mean it's just part of the game. Like we had to vote people out, and like I mean that's like what got us here. So yeah.
Hailey, what did this bring to your semester?
Like, I don't know, it's just like, I think it was Noah that said it, that was like, after like he got voted out, it was like a piece of his life was missing. Also, that's a gigantic bird on the menu. Sorry. It's
Where?
literally, I don't know if you can see it, but it's the biggest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't see it.
I think you're listening.
But like, I think Noah said it, that like a huge part of his life was missing once like he got voted out, and like, literally after tonight, like, I'm gonna go see it right away. Like, especially making it into like finale day, and like literally every single game, like every single day of the game, it's just like crazy that like it ends. Which like is stupid saying it, but like at the same time, like we've been doing this literally all semester for months.
Game, same question.
Yeah, I mean, along those same lines, coming into this, I had little to no expectations for myself because I knew how wild this game is. And I was like, you know, I'm going into it, who knows what's going to happen. Obviously, I want to do as well as I can. But the fact that I'm sitting here right now is still unreal. And kind of how Erin said, like, I didn't know much about Survivor coming in, and I had no idea that I would make as many friends as I did. And it made the game so much harder because all those tough decisions, like, you know, I'm thankful because I think this group of people have been really understanding with votes. I think we all know that it's part of the game, and I'm hoping that we can all continue to be friends because it's a huge part of our semester, and you spend almost every day talking to the people who are in the, or every week talking to people who are in the game still. And it would suck if that ended after the season. Obviously, it's not going to be as extensive, but I really enjoy all the people I've met.
Yeah, I feel like we like played a really like just like in a really unique season to where we're all like such good friends. Like I was like going like to all the pictures and I was like I don't know, it just made me smile, like especially Zane. Love you, Zane. Yeah, it's just like I think that like that's what made our season so great is because we're like genuinely friends. Like it wasn't just like about a game for us.
Yeah, I feel like it was like friends first.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that this had such a positive impact on your semester. I know it did for my 2 semesters that I played too. But as much as it hurts, we do have to make a decision coming up here soon where somebody does get voted out. So Erin, I want to give you the opportunity. Do you need more information or more discussion about who you want to vote for, or are you good to go?
No, I mean, I feel like I know both of your games at this point pretty well. So it's not like me needing more information. It's like I don't really know how to make this decision, but I could try. So
I know you're gonna feel bad, but like, because like
it's
at the
like
end of the day, if either one would have
and it's just like not like personal at all. So yeah, like I'm good.
Okay, and Cam and sorry, wow. Hailey and Cam, that was, yeah, not English. Hailey and Cam, I'll give you guys one more chance. If you anything else you want to say to Erin, feel free now.
I'm just really proud of the three of us that, like we said, this is what we wanted to do, and like,
And we did it. We did it. We knew this was gonna be the hardest one.
I love you guys.
We love you.
All right, everybody all good? Okay, with that, it is time to vote. Erin, you are the only one that will vote today. You are immune. Have your spot in the final two set. Right now, you'll pick who you want to bring with you. You are voting out the last person you want to be on the jury. So with that, go ahead and vote.
This sucks. Oh god. Oh no. This is gonna make me so upset. Okay, Cam and Hailey both deserve to be in it, and
This makes me really upset. You're like one of my best friends ever, and I'm really lucky that I was able to become close with you like throughout the merge. I'm really sorry.
I will go get the vote. Alrighty, you guys are all huddled up. I love it. I will read the vote. The 14th person out. Nope. The 14th person voted out the 7th and final member of our jury. Hailey. That's one, that's enough. Please bring your torch.
I don't want it to fall off.
Erin and Cam, congratulations. You have made it as far as you can make it in this game. This is our final two. In just a few hours, you guys will plead your case as to why you should be the sole survivor. And the power shifts to the jury plus Hailey. They will decide the winner of this game. So with that, it's going to be a great night, an exciting night. I'll give you guys some time to prepare. Congratulations again. Go ahead and get on out of here.
I don't know what to say. I don't know. I guess based off of mine and Erin's conversation yesterday, this like isn't really what I expected, but it's okay. I understand, and I'll ask her later and we'll talk about it and it'll be okay. But I'm still really proud of both of them, and like I wish them the best of luck at the end. Right now, like I'm thinking that like Cam really hasn't done a lot of stuff. Like I guess like on her own, she's more so followed people, or I feel like Erin has done a lot of stuff on her own. So there's that, but it could all change. Like maybe Cam has done a lot more than I realized. And it was so fun. I'm so happy that I like got casted and played and everything, because like from like exec and crew to like even all the castmates, like it was just a lot of fun, and I'm really happy that I did it. This is the last confessional. I cannot believe that it's like almost over and that I've made it 84 days without being voted out. That's insane. I am so totally stoked for Final Tribal. I was most nervous for this challenge and this tribal, but now that I'm here, I mean, this is what I wanted. I wanted it to be me and Erin, and I know that whatever happens tonight, I will be content. I think we've both played amazing games.
I cannot believe that we're here right now. That's insane. and that like the fact that final tribal is literally happening right now is amazing. It's been a long semester for sure. Had to avoid some tricky votes, but I'm actually so proud of myself for making it here, and I'm honestly so happy that I'm sitting next to Cam. Like, I couldn't think of a better person to be sitting next to right now, like, than the person I started the game with.
But thinking about like what I'm gonna say specifically, I mean, I think I have a good chance. I've had a pretty extensive experience with this game. I feel like I started out as one of those people that everyone was like, oh, they're gonna be a target, but you know, like they're gonna be a threat. We'll worry about that when we get there. And you know, up until the merge, there were some pretty easy votes. The only vote I had gotten against me was Jordan, and Jordan went home that vote. So, you know, that's all fine and dandy. But I think where things really get interesting is the merge. I think that I played from the merge on very strategically. I realized what alliances were going to get me here and which ones weren't. And the ones that weren't, you know, they ended.
Yeah, that today was hard. That was literally impossible to make that decision. I just had to go with my gut, and I generally don't think I have Hailey's vote tonight just because of that, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm just nervous kind of about questions from people. Like, I'm so nervous about Tanner's question because he's for sure gonna ask about my strategy in not voting him out, and I don't know.
But either way, I mean, I'm so grateful for Erin. How awesome that she brought me. I think it's a testament to you know, the relationship that we have. And even though people might see me as maybe like I would win over her, she still took that risk on me. And I am so grateful for that. So yeah, I mean, I'm so happy for her, and I just can't wait to be sitting up there in front of everyone with her and see what they've been thinking the whole season.
I think everyone's gonna be like, why did you take Cam? Like, she's like literally gonna be so much harder to beat. And like, I'm like thinking, and I'm like, okay, this isn't for $1 million. Like, I think I wanted to sit next to someone whose game I respected and who I would be okay. Like, I mean, I completely respected Hailey's game too. Like, she's a great player. It's just, me and Cam had more similar games, I would say. And I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to ask or answer all these questions, but I guess we'll see. I'm kind of getting nervous. Yeah.
Come on in, guys. Cam and Erin, welcome to the final Tribal Council. Get excited. This is a big night. We get to decide the winner here soon. And congratulations again on making it a full 84 days. This is as far as you can get in this game. From this point on, it's up to you guys to prove your case to the jury that you should be the sole survivor of Season 4, Survivor Time to Change. So with that, we're going to go ahead and bring in your pre-merge contestants. Kim, Morgan, Max, Megan, Jordan, Tyler, and Zandy. And now we'll bring in the members of your jury. Richard, Tanner, Sam, Noah, Emily, Zane, and Hailey voted out at the last tribal council. So, as I just said, here are all of your fellow castmates that helped you get to this point today. And tonight is the time that you guys get to take to explain your games and own up to the mistakes and the triumphs that you've had. The jury has prepared several questions and statements for the two of you. They will grill you hard, answer to the best of your ability, and try to win over their support because they ultimately decide who wins between the two of you. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started with opening statements. Erin, you're first up.
Okay. I just want to say to all of you guys, this has been like one of the most fun semesters I've had in college, and like you guys have all made it what it was. So thank you for being awesome, and you guys are all winners in the book. So I think to start, it's like important to note that I have survived the most tribal councils out of anyone here. The first challenge is the only one that I didn't go to tribal that week, and while I feel like I was a fierce competitor in challenges, I didn't rely on that throughout my game. I started the season kind of with a target on my back. I don't know why, for maybe a few reasons. And after I was the only one on my tribe left out of the first vote, other than Morgan, who was sent home, I knew I was going to have to play a little bit more aggressive to save myself a little bit. Before the merge, I was involved and played a big role in some of the big moves, I would say, before the merge, such as the Max vote, the Tyler vote, and I helped Richard make the fake idols and implement that plan. I also formed some pretty solid alliances, and that honestly saved me and brought me to where I am today because I had two wonderful humans, Zane and Richard, who were willing to go to rocks for me because they trusted me that much. During these few weeks, I realized I was getting my name written down a few times, so I kind of realized I needed to take a step back. But before I did that, I thought it was important to get whoever still thought I was a threat out of the game, not being Zane and Tyler. So before I was able to take a step back, I made sure that happened. And then after the merge, I tried my best in my ability to just form relationships and get connections because I knew my alliances at that point were going to be what brought me forward. I tried to play a very honest and loyal game to everyone I was working with. And I made it my goal to not have anyone enter the jury with a bitter taste in their mouth because of me. Whether I did that or not, that's what I was trying to do because I honestly genuinely cared about all of you guys. And as I said before, it broke my heart to vote any of you out. I did that by just being true to myself and also conserving some of the relationships that I had with the people I was closest to, so Tanner being one of them, and Zain as well, and Hailey, my girl. I think that all was rewarded in the end because I'm the only person here that didn't have a vote cast against them after the merge. And while I went to a tribal council every single week except for week 1, my name has only been written down at 2 of those, which I think is a big triumph in itself. But if my game is good for you and you respect it, I would love your jury vote. If not, I understand, and I have a badass over here that I respect the hell out of her game as well. And yeah, so thank you.
Alright, hi guys. Great speech. Yeah, so I want to say thank you too. I wish that I would have gotten more time to play with a lot of you guys. I never played with Kim, Megan, or Tyler, but it really be like that sometimes. I think that, I'm really happy to be sitting here with Erin too, and I'm happy to have gotten to know a lot of you personally. You guys are all great. I think that I played this game well in a lot of ways. I think I was a strong physical and social threat. I won the most individual immunity challenges out of anyone. I have also been to, not as many as Erin, I went to 11 tribal councils throughout the season. I think that's like 2nd or 3rd most out of anyone here, and the whole season I've had my name written down twice. It just so happens that the 2 councils that I've had my name written down, the person who wrote it down went home. I'm sorry to both of you. It just kind of worked out like that. I think that the relationships that I built, this is not an individual game. I think we all recognize that, and the loyalty and trust that I put into my closest alliances are what got me here. They protected me when an idol was played against me at Tribal to try and get me out. That's a huge move. I was really happy to be on the upper end of that. I think for a lot of the votes and a lot of the big moves in this game, I was not only on the right side of them. I think Richard's vote was the only one that I was not on the right side of. Sorry, buddy. But I think I was a driving force in a lot of those decisions. And again, that just comes from the trust that I had built with people. I also played a big role in helping Zane find his idol. And those were the kind of moves that I made to protect the people who I wanted to move forward with in this game. I think I was loyal to people who were loyal to me until the end. Hailey, I know I didn't make the decision, but I love you. I wish you could be up here with us. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to hear what all you guys have to say, answer any questions you have about my game, what I was thinking when I made certain moves. I respect the hell out of all of you guys, and thank you, Erin, for getting me here. She won the challenge today, so everyone knows she kicked ass. But yeah, very grateful.
Well, ladies, thank you for some great opening statements. I'm sure it's going to be a fun evening. With that, we get started with jury questioning. Sam, you are first up.
First, I'm going to start off by saying congratulations.
Thanks, Sam.
It's awesome. My question, it's kind of an easy one, I guess, but you probably want to answer it first. We'll start with Erin since you won. But if you could take 2 people off of this jury and replace them with any of them, who would it be?
That is not an easy question. I genuinely don't even know how I would choose that because I feel like my relationships with you have grown so much since the merge, and you guys are all here for a reason. I don't think any one of you deserves not to be here, and I value all of you all. I know this is probably a cop-out answer, but I genuinely couldn't choose who doesn't deserve to be there because you all played really great games. We have some big threats over here. We've got some quiet threats right there. We have Emily, who's a boss-ass bitch. We've got Zane, who I just love you
Also
so
a
much.
boss-ass bitch.
Yes. And Hailey, my girl, and you played an amazing game. So I think that your games are what got you here, and I don't think it's my place to say who doesn't deserve to be there.
Is there anyone that you would have were earlier in the game trying to take with you that you weren't able to take with you? Or
is there anyone that
you
I would
it's not
want to be?
necessarily that I guess we don't deserve it, but if it's someone that you wanted to take with you that unfortunately the way things went.
Well, of course I love Morgan, my girl. I voted with her. I think that the way I set up my game ended up working what was it was best for me who came to the merge. Because I think I set up my game where all the people that view me as a threat, like Zandy and Tyler, weren't there. And so I didn't have to really worry about people coming for me because I think I took care of it before the merge. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that that's a challenging question. I think a big part of why that's tricky is because these are the people that we spent the most time with because we made it that far. So I guess thinking about it, it would be hard because I played with Morgan, Max, and Zandy out of the jury, because we were on an old tribe together. So I would expect that those would be the people who I would have thought I would go farther with, I guess, relatively speaking. But it is hard because I agree that the position that we put ourselves in at the merge was probably ideal for our games. I don't know that I could pick any of you to swap out. I guess if anything, maybe I would have Zandy because she is the closest person to the merge. I spent the most time with her out of anyone who didn't make the merge. So I guess that's as much as I can say about that. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Hi, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
All right, next up, Richard.
Anyway, couldn't be more happy for the two of you to be sitting up there. Obviously, I've worked with you guys for a while before I went out, so congratulations for that. I'm gonna start with Erin. So obviously, I've been at every single tribal council you've been at, since you've been in this game. And like you said, you've been to the most tribal councils in this game. And obviously, you were kind of viewed as a threat by many, pre-merge. And obviously now you some people would say skated towards this end of the game. So when would you have said that you flipped from being that kind of power player to one that now is in a possibly more strategic sense running the game behind the scenes?
So I think when you were voted out was a huge turning point in the game. Kudos to Sam. That was probably the biggest move of the entire game. Yep. And I think that's what really flipped everything. Like I said, I knew I had a target on my back before the merge, and I knew my name was getting written down, and I like kind of thought to myself, I was like, okay, well, I need to kind of go into the background a little bit. Like, if I don't do that, I'm gonna be one of the first people to go. And I think that was kind of obvious with you, Tanner, and Sam all being the first people voted out in the merge. You guys are all very strong players, very like big threats, I would say. And I would say that like when you got voted out, there was 4 old Unexploitos and 4 old Who-Eyes, and that was probably when I realized I needed to kind of go back and like behind the scenes, I would say, and because I think that I needed to guarantee my safety, and if I was gonna continue to be that power player, I would have just gone home.
And then Cam, to you. So I think in this dynamic duo, you could say you'd probably be the most vocal and the more outspoken player. And I think everybody on here realizes that, and that's why you were targeted over Erin in some of these like later votes. And you know, you were even voted most likely to win the game at Final 8. So how do you think that you were able to make it so far in the game with only receiving 1 vote, like post-merge, even though you were perceived to be the most likely to win the game? Could that be because maybe people didn't actually view you as most likely to win the game, or is that just part of your strategy?
I think a little bit of both. I think the difference between me winning most likely to win the game and biggest threat is that, like, I also won who do you want to see the game. So I think there was a little bit of difference in how I was perceived, you know, where I wasn't so much the person that people wanted to gun for to get out, but maybe people just realized that I had the potential to go far in the game. I think that a big reason that I'm sitting here today is without a doubt the alliances that I made. Girl gang, I mean, we killed it. We absolutely slayed. And I wouldn't be here without them. I know that for a fact. I would agree with Erin in saying that you going home was a huge turning point because at that point we had a few options. We had old tribal lines, or we could wipe the slate and start new. And I think that you leaving kind of wiped that slate, and so the new alliances that I built are what kind of got me here.
Thank you. Thanks, Richard.
Thank you.
Tanner.
Congrats on both of you guys getting here. I guess I'll start with Erin. So we did make the final 2 after the merge. And I did find out after I went home that you knew I was going home before it happened. So I was just wondering why you didn't tell me that I was going home.
Yeah. I kind of expected this question. So when, like I said, the Richard vote was the turning point of the game. And I had made some new alliances with obviously Girl Gang, and I had Old Eye Toido. And I kind of recognized that I needed to save myself at that moment. Telling you and risking you playing an idol, and that would have backfired on me, and I would have lost the trust of the new alliance I was trying to make, which is ultimately what brought me to the end. I think my version of loyalty to you was sticking with you until the very end, and that's like what I can say. Like, I was loyal to you until I felt like I couldn't anymore. I couldn't be anymore, and I also knew you and Cam were kind of at odds as well, and when people were saying your name, obviously I wasn't the one to throw out your name. Obviously that was like literally like you were one of the last people I wanted to go home that week. But when people were saying your name, I knew eventually one of you guys was gonna have to go home in order for me to get further, because you guys were gonna keep being at odds with one another, you know what I mean? So I think I stayed loyal to you in the sense that I was with you until the end. Yeah, like I said, I just didn't see, I guess, the point in letting you know about that.
Okay.
Thanks, detail.
Cam.
Yeah, hi.
So, you were talking about how you won 3 humanity challenges, but I remember at 7, you basically said that you didn't deserve to win that immunity, and then at 4, I mean, you basically just got lucky by kicking your base higher in the air.
Yeah.
So why should I just disregard those immunities and say you only won 1, as opposed to Erin who won 2, and say that I give her the edge over you in that sense? Like, what did you do to actually like win those challenges?
Right. Well, I mean, I'll be the first to say that in all the challenges that I won, Erin was right on my tail. And I'll also say that I was harboring so much guilt about that one that I felt like I didn't deserve, that I threw the marble challenge so Erin could have it, because I just really wanted her to win. And so I think that if you can take anything away from that, Erin and I played a very similar competitive game. I don't know that one of us necessarily, like if you're looking at it like that, had an edge over the other. So I think a lot of the aspects of our games were similar. But I do think that, I mean, I've heard a lot of people say that I'm a physical threat regardless. So do with that what you will, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Tanner.
No.
Hi guys.
You look so dapper.
Oh, thank you. So I'm so happy both of you were here. Cam, I kind of felt like we didn't make it this far, ever since that we first got a chance. So I'm happy for you, and you too, Erin. You're both really deserving to be here. So my first question is for Erin. A little bit nicer. Roast you. So we never really got to talk at all before the merge. Like we don't think we ever thought about each other as a player. Like it would be like we needed to talk to at all for any reason. But then the merge happened, and I got to know you right away. Like we talked like next night or something. And I was right away. Your honesty and personality was like a big, or like why everyone liked you, and I like immediately saw it. And so I think that's like a big reason why people liked you so much is because you're like already such a fun. So I was wanting to talk about your social game and like how you think it's the reason why you got here. Like, do you think that it was more than just your social game, or do you think it was like the sole reason? Like, just talk about it.
I mean, I think in a game like this, the social game is really important. And with me, I just wanted to be myself. Like, I genuinely came into this just wanting to get to know people and wanting to form relationships. And I think that showed through. And it's just like who I am as a person. Like, I wasn't gonna backstab anyone. I wasn't gonna, you know, like outwardly like be rude to people or anything. That's just who I am. So it's nice that people recognize that. I would say that is probably the more important aspect of my game post-merge, because I think that's what I relied on when I went kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah, I didn't get to see much of you before the merge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was a little, I mean, I wouldn't say I was like mean to anyone, but I was a little more aggressive in my moves before the merge because I wanted to position myself. But then after that, when I felt like I had myself positioned in the game, is when I really started making the connections and making friends with people, because I knew I was gonna be with you guys for the long haul. I knew you guys were gonna be on the jury and I was gonna have to, you know, sit in front of you and explain my game. So, and those were all like, that was all real. Like I genuinely care about you all, and I would say after the merge, that's probably what kind of drove me.
Cool. All right, so for Cam, so obviously you've been a huge player in this game with respect to the challenge part. You've no doubt, I think all of us have viewed you as one of the most physical and like this highest achieving person when it came to like actually being out in front of everyone and having to do well in these challenges every single week. So my question to you is also about social games. So I want you to kind of like think about how your social game has helped you along with, you know, winning challenges, and like if you think that you've had like there's any special part of your social game that you think that people like maybe haven't recognized or like given you credit enough for, or just like anything.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think I played the social game pretty well. I like to think that when I was on a new tribe with new people and after the merge, I wanted to take the time to get to know them. I think I hit it off with a lot of people right away. And I also think that a lot of people maybe don't see how much I valued the relationships that I built. Like I said with Erin, when I knew that she was upset about the challenge, I was like prepared to do anything to make it right. And I would have done that for anyone who I had a relationship with like I had with Erin. And I think it shows a lot in the way I perform and just in how I treated people on the jury.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that loyalty, it might not look like it because I did have to blindside a few people on the way, but loyalty was something I really valued in the game, and a lot of that came from social aspects. So.
That's it.
Thanks, Noah.
Thanks, Noah.
Good. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, I want to start out with I love you both. Hashtag girl gang.
Hashtag girl gang forever.
Love you. I won't be petty.
Honestly, bring her. One last time.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with you, Cam.
Okay.
Love you, loved your personality. So obviously going into the merge, you were the biggest threat in this game, and I got voted out essentially for trying to take out the biggest threat in the game. So basically, why do you think that people were more willing to work with you in the fact that even though you had the 2 wins at that point, and you were basically the easier target than myself, who only had no wins, and maybe I apparently were a little less loyal to me than yourself.
Right. Yeah, I mean, relationships was completely what that vote came down to. And I will say, I think that the biggest thing that a lot of people struggled with was maybe your relationship with Sam. I think that maybe a lot of people felt like, I mean, myself included, thinking about, I love you both to death, and I would have absolutely loved to go far with you both in the game, but I knew that I would always be third between you two. You know what I mean? So I was so happy to get the chance to work with you, and I would have loved to work with you more in the game, but I think that's what it came down to. I think that I was just very open with the alliances that I gave it my all, and maybe people may have felt like there was like a little bit of reservation there. But I mean, I have no doubts that we all wanted to work with you. It was just a complicated situation.
Right.
So.
No, I mean, I understand, like, I went against the whole girl gang essentially at that point. And then, like, with the Sam thing, my game went on without Sam, and I know a lot of you thought that I was really upset about it, but, like, I still was my own individual person at that point.
Absolutely, yeah.
But thank you. And then for Erin, so for you, a lot of your gameplay was to lay it low and let other people decide who they were kind of voting for, and then you essentially kind of went with that. So what vote did you have a lot of say in that you didn't let other people just pick and then voted for?
I mean, I would say the tactic to lay low was big after the merge, which is where you saw a lot of my gameplay. Before the merge, I had a lot of say in a lot of the votes. I would say, Max, I love you so much, but that was one of the big ones. Me and Tanner really fought for that, like that vote. I'm so sorry. The reason only being is we knew how loyal Zane was, and we knew that was someone we needed to take with us when it came like to a tribe swap. And honestly, it worked out in our favor because I had someone who was willing to go to Rocks with me. That and the Tyler vote. I keep referencing him, but that week, I would say I was the main proponent pushing for Tyler. I think Richard had a little different idea at that point. I think, I mean, he was willing to do Tyler, but I was the one that was like really pushing for that. And then,
yeah, I was gonna say for the merge, was there anyone that you would argue?
I mean, I pushed forward for people like Zane that like I felt I could trust and that I was close with. Like, I would say, I'm sorry, Noah. Like, I would say that maybe like I wanted Zane to be in my final 5. I wanted him to be in my final 4. And that was just because I had built such a trusting relationship with him. So I was not willing to let Zane go. And I would say, helping him look for the idol and everything, like I think that helped a lot. So.
Yeah, I know you always argued that Zane was not your first choice for both of you.
Pardon?
That Zane was not your first choice to ever go.
Oh yeah, never. I thought you meant like first choice. I was like, I love Zane. Zane was never my. So I just went forward with votes that I thought were gonna be helpful to me in my game and people I could trust.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zane, what's up? Straddle.
Between your legs.
No, between your legs.
Yes.
Alright, I'll just, congratulations to both of you guys for making it to the final two. I'm gonna start with you, Cam. So, during the vote for Emily, during that week we had met multiple times, and you had played up your dislike of Emily that week. I'd never seen you like more emotional in terms of voting someone out. Was that actual genuine dislike and that you just wanted to get her out of the game? Or was that you trying to play it up so that I would, also vote her out?
Alright, I'm gonna stop you there. I never said I disliked Emily. I said that I was upset because I felt like she went back on, something that we had been talking about. And I will say that my trust was a little bit shaken. I do recall talking to you about it, and I was upset. I do not dislike Emily.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We good. We worked it out. Those were very real feelings. I wasn't trying to persuade you anyway with how I felt. I kind of had an idea of how you felt about Emily anyways. I kind of think we all did. I was trying to just be real with you about the situation, like where my head was at. There wasn't any hidden agenda behind that, basically.
And I guess my follow-up question would be, during that tribal council, I sold that I felt like I was a target that week very well.
At 5?
At 5.
Okay.
Even though I did, so well in that, how did I become such a quick target after you had won immunity with the base challenge?
So you're just talking about from 5 to 4, how you became a target?
Yeah.
I don't really know. I think what it came down to was, at that point, there were 4 of us left. Someone had to go, and I had a tighter relationship personally with Hailey and Erin. It was a hard call. I think that if there were more people left in this game, I would have wanted to take you with me still, but at that point, one of us had to go, and 3 of us got to stay. I only had 3 people to vote for, and it just ended up being you, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Erin?
Hi.
So multiple times during this game, you called me your homie, a friend, and yet you voted for me 3 times this whole game. Can you just explain to me your thought process behind those votes?
Yes.
And was there any reason why you didn't want to take me to final 3?
Yeah. Okay, so first vote, not my fault. I wasn't informed on the plan. If I would have been informed on the plan, I'm sorry, Morgan, but I probably would have voted for them. Second vote, like everyone else on Ola Twitter, we kind of felt like we genuinely didn't have an option. Like, if Sam was going to use his advantage, which he ended up using it, we thought they were voting for you, and we thought our votes wouldn't matter. So we thought it would be best to just vote you and pretend like we were going with them the whole time, even though we obviously weren't. We had a plan, and had he not played his advantage, we would have gone through with that plan. The last vote, obviously, that was probably the hardest one for me. That was definitely the hardest, for me, out of the 3 of them, because I felt like you had trust in me, and genuinely, obviously, I wanted you in this game. I went through a lot of measures to make sure you were in this game. I felt like I was very loyal to you throughout it, and I came to a point where I could go against these 2 and have faith that you would win that challenge and have faith that you would push through, or save myself. And I ultimately thought at that point it was important for me to save myself. It was nothing against you. Genuinely, I was honestly in Final 5 and Final 4, I was rooting for you to win those challenges, because I think that if you would have won those, it would have made a big impact in the game. So, but it was nothing personal. It was more just I had to save myself at that point.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Hailey, last time.
So I would say congratulations on making it this far, but you made it 2 hours longer than me, so I'm not gonna say that. And I guess my obvious main question is, Erin,
why I chose him? Yeah. Okay. So there are a few reasons. Obviously, super hard for me. The hardest decision decision I had to make. You know that. Like, you know I'm like a very emotional person, and I value both of your like friendships equally. From a game perspective, my main reason was I knew I was gonna come in here and say I played a very loyal game, and I think that was gonna be my main thing. Because I did. I was loyal to anyone that was loyal to me. And I felt like if I sent Cam home, who was my first alliance, it would have completely just negated everything that I was going to stand up here and try to prove. Obviously, I was completely loyal to you as well. It was more just the fact that Cam and I had established a relationship in literally the first week of this game. And I felt like if I were to send her home at that point, I just would kind of negate everything I was going to come in here and try to prove. Also, you're a badass. You have a lot going for you. I like know how confident you are, and I knew you would thrive in a setting like this and be able to come in here and explain yourself well. And basically, I think the jury would have been astounded by like how well you could speak up for yourself and for your gameplay. And I think that was another reason that kind of influenced it as well. But I think the main reason was just my loyalty to Cam just was a little longer than mine to you, and that was only because of the first tribes we were on.
So I guess some advice to both of you is that besides that answer, I think you've been giving a lot of roundabout half-assed answers, so in your final closings you need to do more. Like I'm not being a bitch right now, like that's like me being like real with you. Because at the end of the day, you guys both said you were here because of your alliances. What alliances?
I mean, I think that we were very strong with one, girl gang.
Which
two,
I made. So which I made. Girl gang was something because of me. But you didn't tell them that.
They didn't ask. But also, the old Itoido, I mean, I stuck with Zane until the very end before. Yeah, and I think that I established relationships with people in the game that wanted to take me further, and that's what happened.
So here's my next question to both of you. That wasn't just you, that was to Cam. But it's fine, I should answer it. Unless you want to answer it. If you have something to say, go
right ahead.
Post-merge, because obviously pre-merge we were never on a tribe together, so like we never made moves together. Post-merge, what is something that you two did that I didn't influence your game?
I mean,
besides, but like, don't say Zane because like obviously everybody wanted Zane out, so like that's obvious. That's like obvious.
Okay, can I think that after the Tanner vote, I straight up was like, I'm not voting out Zane. I'm not voting him out. Like next, like I said that I wasn't going to. I definitely was a proponent. I'm sorry, Sam, for Sam to go home when he did. But so was I.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, what did you do that I didn't?
I think that's like the point though. We made moves together. I don't think one of us was like pushing for it because it's like whoever like made moves first. Like that's kind of like I think that there are a lot of us that like I maybe said Sam's name first over Noah, and maybe at one point you said whoever's name over. Like I think that we made moves together, and I think that was like key in how we ended up here.
You didn't tell me to vote Tanner. That was harder for me because I was the one that was flipping. That was my move. You were in on it. All of Old Poo, I was in on it, but that was my move.
Okay, so here's the thing, is I literally like, besides closing statements, like we're done. And I don't know who I'm voting for. So I have a number between 1 and 10 that means something to me. Pick.
7.
You have a number between 1 and 10 that means something to you. I'll go with 4. Love you.
All right, we will now move into the closing statements part of this tribal council. Cam, you are first up.
All right. I don't have that much else to say. I loved, hearing what was on all of your guys' minds after how things ended. Obviously, it's nice to see you all and talk to you all. Hopefully, we can be friends after this. I do think I played a dominant game. I think a lot of you hinted that I was a threat for most of post-merge, but I still made it here, and that's just not by luck. I think I did a lot to solidify my position here. So that's about all I got to say. I would love to get your guys' votes, but you know, do what you gotta do. This is your time.
Hey everyone. Okay, I just want to start by saying I love you all. You're still like my favorite human beings, and I love answering your questions and giving you a little more insight to my game. Like I said, I feel like I had basically said like everything I needed to. I felt like I played a really strong game before the merge that kind of set me up for the merge, for being in the merge and not having to put a target on my back even further. I never got a vote after the merge began. I have been to the most tribal councils out of anyone here and have only had my name written down twice. I think I played a very strong social and physical game. I would say I definitely, me and Cam both did that, I would say. I think me and Cam played really similar games, and I would love your guys' vote, but if you feel compelled to vote for Cam, that's totally okay. And I love you guys.
Alrighty, well, thank you for that. First, I want to thank Pre-Merge for being here to witness this final tribal council. I want to thank the jury for a great line of questioning. Of course, I want to thank you two for a great response and a great performance tonight, but now the power shifts from you two to these seven, where they will decide the winner of this season. Vote for their sole survivor. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get to the vote. Richard, you are first up.
Honestly, if you had told me that I was going to be voting for you at the beginning of this game, I would have said you were crazy. I didn't think you had it in you, but kudos to you. That was an amazing final tribal council. And even an hour ago, you didn't have my vote.
I thought I had my mind out going in, and damn it, good speeches.
All right, voting for who we want to win. I'm gonna vote Cam just because she was a physical player in the game that could win the challenges, meaning that she took herself out off the block or even an option for 3 times. And when she wasn't the one winning, she was able to make her downplay her being a big player on challenges, letting her win more challenges. So basically, she was a good player on the challenges and also had a good enough social game not to make it this far.
All right.
So this is a hard choice because I love them both. But I'm choosing to go the Erin route. Love you both, Cam. But that's my girl.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy. It's Zane. I like both candidates, but I'm just gonna go with Jim. I'm gonna vote Cam.
I get like I'm supposed to pick a winner, but like this just isn't as fun as regular. So for all the team, the number I picked was 2, but Erin was technically closest, but she only picked it because Richard put up 4 fingers, and that's cheating. So therefore, I'm voting for Cam to win. That like basically it can be won or lost at final tribal, and Erin, I honestly think you lost it, and so I'm voting for Cam. But I love you both, and I'm really proud of you. It also literally sucks hearing everybody say, "Oh, I'm so proud of you," when I literally made it the same amount of fucking days. It's fine.
All right, ladies, for the last time, I'll go get the votes.
What a distance. What a brave soul.
In this tribal council, you want to hear your name read off. Whoever has more votes is the winner of our season. All your votes. First vote. Erin.
Thanks for the help.
Cam. Erin. Cam. We're tied. 2 votes Erin, 2 votes Cam, 3 votes left. Cam. Erin. We're tied again. 3 votes Cam, 3 votes Erin, 1 vote left. The winner of Survivor Time and Change, Season 4, Ohio's Praise, Erin. It was a crazy season filled of ups and downs, big threats, and secret alliances. We see Erin come out on top on a 4-3 vote. Congratulations to our entire cast on a great season. Thank you for watching. Go Bucks.